It's just good to see yourself in the third because I internally think I know how I come off or think I know what's actually happening. And then you watch yourself back and then you can really see yourself. So I'm just trying to be comfortable with the whole process of us creating something and the timing of it and just like the perfections that can seem limiting sometimes. I want to say divine timing because we kind of like joked about that, but just trying to learn that I don't have to rush to create something and I don't have to rush and you don't feel rushed and thank you for always reassuring me about that because I'm just rushed in general sometimes and I make myself feel rushed and sometimes I don't even know I'm rushing. I'm just so into this. I just want to do it all the time, but I don't have infinite energy.
Yeah.
And I need to respect that. So,
That's kind of what we've been talking about, though. I think like respecting your energy is like what we've been talking about all day, pretty much.
or even since
That's
January.
like a great way to put things. I think I might use that. Like it's like respecting your energy. Respecting your energy is what human design is kind of teaching us. And the more you respect your energy, the more your energy respects you. Because there is a reciprocity in all of it. We just can't see it, right? That's the yin. That's being shaped.
Mm.
It's like I'm in yang, and now you're kind of more in yin right now, right? And I just like literally pulled that card, and that's the push and pull too. And sometimes like you have to be willing to be pulled instead of pushed. And I think we live in a world full of push. But I do think we've been talking, I think the conversation has been more towards the end more than ever because obviously the feminine is out of whack. That's the best way to put it. I mean, the masculine is out of whack too, without going too far that way and wherever you want to pull from that. But like, yeah, I just think that that's the language of this spiral that we're in of this series or whatever it is. That's kind of like learning to respect your energy will allow you to create something, right? Because there's a lot of talk about I just got it done in a day. Like I had to push through it. I wrote this thing and I did this thing in a day, and it is glorified. And it's okay. Like if you can get that done, like you've overcome some shit and you got there, great. But not everybody works that way, and I think that it's okay to have your own pace. And I think that's what Taurus season teaches us is like it's okay to have your own pace. My boyfriend is very much like a he gets things done differently than me. It gets done, but it's done differently. And I am like, don't rush me. That's like the one thing I don't like to be is rushed. Even if I'm late, I've learned that there sometimes is a reason, perhaps. Sometimes there's not, sometimes it's me, but sometimes it's not. Most times it's actually not. I've learned like I show up whenever I need to show up. I
Just think
mean,
about the possibility
like it's better than
of
me getting into an accident.
exactly. That's exactly where I was going. Like
Sorry.
it's better. I rather think about, okay, how did this moment in time save me rather than like, how does this limit me? Like, oh, I'm a late person. I'm this, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, maybe I was saved. And maybe it's not, but it's like, I just rather have those good thoughts than worry or panic. Because I used to panic a lot about time and being on time and, being overly on time. I'm like way over. I'm like at work 45 minutes before the fucking place opens. Like that's too much. And I've danced on the line of things like that where I'm like, okay, how do I feel if there's like not a lot of time before I start or bless you.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Or get into my day or something like that. I know that's not the point you were making, but I was just thinking.
No, it's fine because what it brought me to is like, yeah, you're alive. That's what's crazy, like how, and I know this is so like, it's so real, but it's so like regular to say, but it's nothing crazy. But when you're late to work, if you work physically somewhere and it's because there's an accident, like you were just in traffic and now there's an accident, and how bad some people feel about being late, even though like someone probably just died.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And like how much we don't think about that.
Because we're so consumed in our own little bubble, our own like
Well, we're scared of
headspace.
being fired or whatever kind of boss you have.
Yeah.
But really, like, your boss hopefully is just happy that you got there.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But like, it's just crazy, like, how much that's become so normal. Because it was normal at a few jobs that I've had. And I just remember thinking, like, because I was already at a place in my life where I was like, yeah, but like, you're fine, you're safe. Like, hopefully humans will understand that. Like, hopefully. And it happened a lot. So,
Being late.
no, just like accidents, right? And then, yes, then clients or people coming in would be late. And then it's like, you can't, like, someone, yeah, it's just interesting like that. We think of it so separately from ourselves.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, you're absorbed usually 100% of the time in whatever you're going through in that day. And it's like when you're driving to work and you're late, right? And you're probably moving from a sense of urgency and maybe a little bit of panic because there's expectation. That becomes your existence. And there's like there's no other focus than yourself in those moments. And I think what you're talking about is some of that awareness coming into play on your daily life that, I don't know, it really just shows the importance of other people in your daily life. Like to be able to have that step back and be present enough with yourself and with the people who are rushing to work just as much as you are. I always think when I'm driving, I'm like, I can't believe we're all just here driving on this man-made road that was like never here. And we're all just like, we're just traveling in time, like super quickly in these machines and nobody's thinking twice about it. Like, that's just like another form of awareness that, you know, it's.
You are not your car.
Yeah. Yeah, I think about when I'm walking too, like how fucking slow I am compared to the rushing cars. I'm like, any car right now could just literally
Like,
kill me.
Travel.
Yeah, I used to feel that way too when I was scooting. When I had a scooter, and I was just scooting along. Anyway. Scooter the nicknames you've had.
I'm just like, people love to fucking play with me. It's just crazy.
Scooter
My expense for a laugh, dude. It's crazy. But you know what? You know, whatever, man. Scooting along.
As we are in life, just scooting along.
Just being a goofy old kid. And then, yep.
Man, I should. The amount.
What are you thinking about over there?
I know.
Where'd you at? Where'd you go? Where'd you scoot to?
It brought me right back to my childhood when I didn't have a care in the world and I was just like moving through time on my little scooter and just so present with myself that that's all I was thinking.
What color was your scooter?
Blue. It was silver and blue. Yeah, and there was a Cobra on it. I think it was called Cobra.
Nice.
And my brother had a red one. Yeah, and now they have like electric scooters and all this stuff.
I see like electric skateboard.
Yeah.
I was like,
That was
Evan, I want a longboard. He was like, it's like, because he's such a pure and skateboarding.
Skateboard.
So cute. I'm like, I'm still gonna ride my longboard next to you, and you're gonna love it. And then he's like, yeah, they're not. I was like, exactly, they're not so bad.
Well, I think longboards are cool.
He's just like he's a skater. He's been going to the park, the skate park lately. I am not Whitney Cummings, but I feel like her sometimes. I feel like that's my trajectory.
In what?
She's dating a skater now, and I'm like, I'm also funny. I was just reminded I might think about going in this direction.
And date a skater.
And we're like the same. Yeah.
Are we the same person?
Me looking for myself. She also had like a lot of alcoholism in her past. Oh my God. She like has an opinion about everything.
Yeah, I love that. I do the same thing though. I'm always trying to find myself in other people. It's comforting. It's fun. Yeah, because you guys are so different in so many ways.
What?
Whitney Cummings.
Oh, yeah. Obviously. I actually don't know her though. Maybe we're not. Anyway, that was a silly segue. Silly.
So this morning I came here and I was kind of
Rushing.
I was rushing. I was honestly a little bit.
Skateboard?
I wish I had a skateboard to come in. That would be pretty cool. Um, if I just skated in here. What's up, Suze? Let me tell you about how much I've been crying, dude. Um, because I'm so sensitive. I'm so sensitive, and I don't allow myself to be sensitive enough. And enough is enough. Because I am. I am a small woman, okay? And I am dainty, and I'm also tough, and I'm also just.
I'm so tough.
I'm also tough.
I'm a Powerpuff Girl.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I had like a sticker of Buttercup in front of me the other day, and I was pumped.
Dude, Buttercup was one of my faves.
What's
Buttercup and Blossom. Because Not That Bubbles is not quite there. She's just someone I didn't want to be. And that's probably who I need to be, is a little bubble. Sacred bubble.
Yeah, same. I definitely didn't like I just liked Buttercup because she was green. When I was a kid, I was more attracted to her.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's probably like because she had this toughness about her.
Absolutely.
I was adverse to Blossom because she wore pink, and now I want to be Blossom. But everyone would say I'm a Bubbles, probably. Like, that is my head. That's how I go. I'm like, it's not just my opinion. What else would happen here? Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking?
But I definitely love Blossom a lot more now.
I think
I want to
we're
wear a
both.
bow. I want to wear pink. I know, wear everything.
Yeah, I think we're
everything.
both. Yeah.
I'm not someone who can just see myself in one. I'm just like, I'm too many things. And it's just true.
Yeah. And I think more people, well, I don't fucking know what more people should do. Anyway. Where I was going.
Obviously. The only time I'm ever serious about that is if, like, you could feel that.
Yeah, because there are times where you gotta be, fuck those people.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just want to be loved. I just want love. I just want to be. I don't even need to be understood at this point. I just want love. That's what I'm here for. I want to be a little love bug.
I think, like, I know you could be a love bug. Understanding yourself is a part of that love, being that love bug.
Well, I do want to understand myself, but what I mean is like having people who they don't always necessarily
like over explaining is what you're like. Yeah, give me a reference. What are you trying to say more?
I'll say more.
Let me not just.
Yeah, don't fucking assume.
So I'm gonna just put my opinion out there. Ask questions.
I feel like I put a lot of emphasis on how other people perceive me or other people see me, and when they can't see me, or when I perceive that they can't see me, I get weird and I get distant, or I get overly explaining things, or I just, it's a reaction within myself that I say I don't need people to understand me because I think that's just kind of what I need to hear in myself right now. And that might change, right? But, like, obviously I want the people who love me the most and care about me the most, like, to see me, but I also know that that's not going to be the case all the time. Just because you love me and just because I love you doesn't mean that we're always going to understand each other. And that's why, for me, I'm like, that's not super important. I just want the love. I just want to know that even in the midst of, disagreements and misunderstandings, that love will always be the thing that connects us, because that's really all there is.
And sometimes that means not being understood.
Yeah. And allowing that and not feeling something about them or not feeling something about myself, existing in that and allowing that to be a reality, because it is. And that's what makes humans human, is just we have our own capacities for certain things, and sometimes understanding shouldn't come in this moment. Maybe the disagreement needs to happen so that we come to understanding at another moment, and then that brings something else, so whatever that is. But yeah,
like acceptance.
Yep. The grand scheme of just acceptance, more so for myself.
The process.
Yeah, because the process is never what I want it to be. I feel like I have so many versions of what I feel the process should be, and it's 99% of the time not what I think like the closer that I get to the closer that I get to understanding myself, it's like it just sometimes it can feel like I'm quote unquote going backwards because I feel the old emotions come up, and I feel like things that I'm still connected to that I wasn't really aware of being connected to come up, and I just think, oh, that's like an old thing, that's a past thing, blah blah blah, and I shouldn't have to go through this. And like because I said I was done with that, I'm done with that. When reality, that's not how it works. You can believe any narratives that you throw out there, but the reality will show up and it will hit you in the face, and you can either deal with it or don't. So I'm just choosing to deal with it, and I'm choosing to accept my limitations and my gifts and the people in my life and how I fit in with that, and how I'm realizing how I talk to myself and how really mean I can be to myself and judgmental and critical and just not myself to myself, because that's not who I am. I'm really kind to myself and I'm soft with myself, and I'm that way with other people when I'm in my sweet spot. When I'm in my sweet spot, all those glorious gifts come out, and I love that. And accepting myself is that for the time being, I may not always be there. Maybe forever, I may not always be there. I don't know. But just accepting where I'm at and how I'm feeling in the day to day, and not having a plan, and not trying to convince myself that if there was a plan that I actually know all of it right this second. So yeah, I don't know how we got into that, but
I was talking about how you're feeling today.
Oh yeah,
You're just a little bubble.
a little bubble.
And you just want to be loved.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of great things you said in that. So that's been a big discussion recently. And it just sounds like you're allowing yourself to let go of control. Because like during it, there's so many questions that came up, and I was like, let go, just listen, let go, listen, just let go, listen. Because you know how I can just like try to grab and like direct the conversation.
No, I noticed that you're doing that, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about that, and it does give me space to be more open about those things. So
because it's almost like because you were saying you felt rushed, and it's so funny because we were just talking about the cards and being rushed, and I'm just tying it together of like, you shouldn't have to rush. I wouldn't want to make someone feel rushed. I think that's why sometimes I can definitely do that.
Yeah, you're great at it.
That's why I'm.
You're great at redirecting.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think there's so many things you can pull from your experience, but I think the experience that you're having is one I recently just went through in my own way. And it's just like the layers of whatever you're learning.
What do you think you're learning?
So like
discover.
I just want to, so like what I've just actually, this goes along with that actually. Honestly, is that like what I'm discovering, one of the things I am discovering, one of the many things I feel like I'm constantly discovering, is that each layer depends on like where you're going. So your intention, like even if you're not intending anywhere specifically, like if you don't even realize consciously you're doing something, your subconscious is doing something, and if you're trying to redirect yourself subconsciously, so there's a specific pain point that's been in my life, but there's so much around it, which has been money, which I talked about before, but you wouldn't know that because nothing's out yet. Let me just say that. But like basically
we're trying our best.
Learning to how that the deeper thing is the worth and what that means, and how to like love yourself in that way, which is why understanding yourself is love, and why when you can love yourself, you realize that like sometimes it's just that you need to understand yourself. And even as babies, like babies don't know why they understand themselves, and like that we're going through this change because we're both creating something new. You're diving into things, you're even diving into things you know somewhat about more. I'm constantly doing that. I'm learning about something in my life where like the layer of, so for me it's control, but it was from anorexia, which is more than just not eating. If you feel like researching it, that's fine. We can deep dive another day about that, unless like the conversation brings us back there, I'll talk about it. But essentially that we don't know what we're doing until we know what we're doing. That awareness goes so far back, and if you're putting yourself out there and wanting to work in a certain way, for me it's putting myself out there in the internet and in life to do what I do and constantly meet people or be open to that. And the layers of control that go along with creating. Like some people are willing to try things and there's no resistance, and I've had much resistance to a lot. And the more I let go of control with people or myself in ways, the more I'm able to see like, oh, this is just like another layer. But when you feel like I've felt the same way, where like I feel like I learned this thing, I should be able to adapt, like this shouldn't be a problem. But it's like that inner voice goes so far back to when I was a child, and when you're a child. And I've learned that like that helps me take blame off myself for needing to, because I'm like that in other ways where I feel like I should have known, and it's like you shouldn't have. And even if like I have the skill or the psychic gift of claircognizance of just knowing shit, it doesn't mean that that's what's happening all the time. Sometimes it's this subconscious protection, which I've learned about recently, is like I've had a lot of subconscious psychic protection where, yes, people still want to tell me about their lives, of course, but it had gone to a point where like anywhere I would go, like jobs, no matter what, like there would be a lot of what I didn't know then, what I know now is trauma bonding. Sometimes like people are meant to tell me shit for sure, but like not all the time. Like I don't need to know everyone's secrets. I don't need to know, because like chances are if I observe you long enough, I will just know that, just because like I'm not trying to. It's just something I'm naturally gifted at and naturally have worked on in a skill. And when I've realized that as a psych or someone who is attuned to your psyche, you have different protections to work through when I'm loving myself in a different way, and I'm really learning to unravel what I learned what love is, as opposed to what I want to believe what love is. And that's like all I feel like I'm doing, but there's so many nuances that when you come down to realizing that love was once protecting myself on a psychic level, that if I can get people to relate to me, they'll trust me and I'll be safe. But I don't even trust myself yet. But that's a way but I didn't know this, right? I didn't know any of this until recent in those words. I didn't know any of that until recently in those words. It's taken me a year to notice it and then unravel it. So I noticed it, I realized it last year because it is a thing. But then, of course, people want to tell me things. That's definitely a part of my life. That's what I do. I go intimate and deep one-on-one with people. It's all my Scorpio placements and Libra. But aside from astrology, it's just like learning that that's a pattern that's affected me in negative ways because I've allowed myself to become too casual and too accessible. That's the word that likes to be used. Casually accessible. I've learned and it's just because at one point it was safe, because that's the way I navigated life. People just liked me. I listened. But they didn't realize the only reason why they liked me is because I just listened to them. They didn't really like me. They didn't know me at all. And I didn't know myself, obviously. So to today, it's really important that I know that as someone who does these practices, because I don't want to be doing that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be attracting those kind of sessions. I want to be able to like help people in a healthy way, but that blind spot and realizing like it's okay not to be accessible to people. Like I don't, and learning that as someone who honestly, and I've said this before, but you wouldn't know that, is that relating it to being a Libra is really helpful, because I realize this is not something everyone in my life has experience with. This is very unique to certain people that I've known. And even to them, it's not the same because we are different. And it's realizing that like I need to put value to myself in a way that other people instinctually do it, or have learned to do it. Love was so complicated at such a young age with everyone. And I know that because that's what my past tells me, and that's what my mind reminds me of when I'm working through this shit. And learning to trust myself first is always what I'm reminded of, regardless of the spaces that I enter. So when I'm not entering those spaces all the time, I have to constantly remind myself of that now. And the way I do that is through working more with God, and like and that's the layers, is like the layers are going to constantly bring me back to myself until I'm ready to like really see how powerful I am and work with that, and realize not to be afraid of my emotions, because they're actually what helps me become the clearest channel I can be. And I think a part of me hates how woo-woo it sounds, because it's like, oh, I wish it can sound like less like, but that's why like I want to pull things down and make them more, I want to put more words to things.
I think that's exactly what we need because I don't feel like that's woo at all. At all. You know,
It just feels so.
I feel like it's so should be so rooted in people though. To like to feel that, to express yourself. Like these are I feel like they're just fundamental things that as a society we've created like anything that is soft to be like
Love is
let
not soft.
like
Crazy.
let me value myself and let me accept myself and let me talk about my emotions and let me feel my emotions and let me just experience the full spectrum of what being a human is. That's not woo woo to me. Like, that is the point, I feel. That is the point of being here is you get the full spectrum of everything and I come out the other side feeling my best self, feeling my whole self. And maybe that's not the narrative for everybody, but for me, I just feel like that's the point because I know that if you don't have that understanding, if you don't have that want to look deeper, it shows up in ways whether you like it or not. And that's, yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think it is important to have people like you to sit and ponder how can I explain these things in a more accessible way for people who may see the woo-woo as woo-woo. I think that there should be multiple streams of the same message in different ways because so many people, we are all similar in ways, but we all also are very drastically different in the ways that we process and the ways that we are. Like the society itself builds one way that we can all like get on board with, that fast pace, especially in America, that fast paced culture of you just got to grind through everything. And unfortunately, that puts the people who don't operate in that way in a box when so many people can be great and magical and expansive and actually probably do so much more that people, if they just fucking waited for a little bit, like they just don't have, and I think it's becoming more accessible now, right? Like the fact that we have so much outreach, and I don't know, I just think that there are people who are meant to give the message, and I'm just happy that you're one of those people.
Thank
You're welcome.
you. I think that's something that's what even our dynamic teaches me is that I've been so needed yet rejected for that. That's the complexity that lives inside of me. And accepting it feels really emotional and powerful every time. And we just talked also about how, like, I know when I'm transforming because I'll resist it and I'll resist it and I'll resist it until it happens. And I don't want to continue to be that way. And, like, letting that transform through me and being that person is a lot of responsibility, even though I've had it for already, right? For a long time. And we talked about responsibility, but I just sometimes it's like it's that dichotomy of like I want and I heard this I've seen this in so many cards so many times is like be careful what you ask for. And it's because I actually care. Like I care a lot. And I think sometimes it's also uh, it seems extremely pretentious, but I feel like every time I purify, I see something even more crystal clear. If I could have if I can learn to create literally the stuff inside of my head and remove every block until I can do it, that's my goal. I don't care what I have to go through anymore, but it's the emotional part is it's interesting because I really appreciate that acknowledgement a lot. And I appreciate that because it's like a big compliment because I know that you really mean it. Because it's something I've been like used, like I've let myself be used for way too much. So that's why learning like what I was blind to was really, really important for like the love that I have now because my love is already pure in my opinion. And now it's like so much, I think, clearer.
Yeah.
And it just feels intense. You know, I feel really big for a lot of people, but I now know that. Like I feel that.
Yeah.
And when I'm hiding from it, because I do actively and inactively, I will hide from it. Even though I want it, I will also hide from it.
Same.
I don't want to be this way. By the way, I'm learning not to be this way, but it's also literally like my astrological diagram. Like it's also in my human. It's in both. It's in there. I, yeah, it's just letting go. It's letting go of all of the things that were and have been said to me and that could be said to me, and learning to like accept that this is my power. Like it's like coming into that power, like powerful every time. Every time it's just more power. I have more power. I feel more myself. My voice changes every time too. I feel.
I hear it.
It's just crazy.
Same.
And my body heals. I've also just been in pain for a really long time, and I don't want to be in pain. Like I don't want that to be my story. I don't want that to be my narrative. I don't want, and that's why like what I'm writing and the project that I'm working on is really important to me, because I don't want it to be a victimized story. It is, but I don't want it to be that. And I have to accept that it is that to an extent. But there's power on the other side. Like there's a lot on the other side, actually. And I'm still like learning. Yeah. It's just like, yeah, it's just a lot of things that I feel. Merp. There's a lot of things that I feel so deeply.
It's interesting too because the card that you pulled talked about allowing yourself to be a victim. And I think that something as serious as anorexia, like, I think it's okay to put a story out there that is very much heart-wrenching and true, and bringing the respect that it deserves into those stories, and knowing how that is the power. Like being that victim has given you that power today, and I think will actually really help people who need that power also. It's like the power that you put into your story is going to resonate from that book, and I think people are really going to resonate with going through the struggles of being seen, wanting to be seen in all the great ways that you are, not being seen in that way, punishing yourself so far to the point of limiting just basic necessities like food and sustenance, like having these complicated real issues with food, and there's so many issues when it comes to food, not just in the scarcity of food, but just in the nutrition of food, the way that we care about food, the way that we see food, like that translates to us because it is a necessity. And I don't know, it goes so deep to know that the pain that you feel goes so far as to limit those basic necessities is just like, I can feel that, and I didn't necessarily go through that, but I'm passionate about those things as well because I had so many body things, right?
Yeah.
So many.
That's
the common thread of everybody, that we all have some weird food shit, women and men.
Even the ones who thought they were, like, everyone comes out eventually saying, like, there's some people who are like, I was born, and I believe them.
Yeah.
But
totally.
they still have their moments, right?
Yeah, and the thing is,
thread is just strong. Like, it's just such a stronger light inside. Like, there's just such a different.
Yeah,
different.
Because we all have the things that are going to be easier to us.
Yeah.
You know, and that's okay, and not everybody needs to be a victim of that.
No.
But I think if you are, it's okay to say, hey, I was a victim of this thing because I didn't see it. Partially I had to go through it, and I think the beautiful thing about what you're talking about is that you can go through that, come out the other side as a powerful person, realizing that, wanting to help the people who went through that same thing. And it's just, and what I see, like, so much, like, even like these Me Too movements and like people standing up for themselves and be like, hey, I went through this, and this should be acknowledged. I went through this because all these other people are also going through this. This needs to be acknowledged. This needs to be talked about. And it's, I don't know, it's just a very important thing. Like, I'm glad that there's so much, you know, body positivity going out there. There are extremes to all of these things, but I'm just happy that people aren't afraid to, like, at least talk about it. Like,
yeah, no, I think that I don't really want to talk about that part, because
yeah, it's totally fine.
I think that everyone has their process, and I just think just because I just think that it's everyone has their unique process because I know mine so deeply that I don't really have
No, I don't
yeah.
know. What do you mean?
Like I have my own thoughts about different things that are out there, but
Talking specifically about body
just
positivity?
everything.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have to be careful. There's a borderline of health too that you do have to look at.
Absolutely.
However,
That's what I mean, extremes.
I just think that because I know how personal it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't have, yeah, like the opinion of it. It's just like I'm just happy that people talk about things that may be uncomfortable, and everybody
The
is,
taboo.
yeah, there's someone for everybody, and someone maybe needs to hear like, hey, just love yourself the way that you are and never change, like in this
You don't have to
moment,
get that
right?
plastic surgery if you don't want.
Yeah, like I think, and then I think it does go to the extremes where I know you said you don't want to talk about, but I'm like, I just feel like there are extremes of too little and too much, always, in everything,
Yeah.
right? That goes with your body, that goes with your health, that goes with your circumstances. Like, it's a little bit of too much and too little. And when you get to those points, there are lessons to be learned. And I think, like, you learn them or you don't. But I just know that, like, the lesson that I learned, because I can only speak for myself, is that it doesn't feel comfortable to me to be excessively skinny and weak. And it doesn't feel comfortable to me to be too heavy for me, right? Like, people would look at me and they're like, you're still so skinny. Like, why do you want to lose weight? And I'm like, because the weight that's on me doesn't feel good to me.
Yes. That's
Not about
and
my
that's
image.
it's okay of having that truth.
Yeah. And I'm like,
It doesn't have to be more than that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's good.
Yeah.
Totally. I'm just like, I have no, my only desire is that I feel good as much as I can during this life.
Yeah.
That's it. And
That's
when I
a
can run and jump and skip and hop in the weight that feels comfortable to me, that's all that matters.
That's actually like one of the biggest things that got me through like the last leg of my physical image healing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when people would like comment on my body, regardless if they knew what I went through or not, or had been going through, because like I still think I continuously was processing what it actually was. I would just look and say, I feel good. And they'll have like all this, like, I was like, no, it's okay. Like, I just want you to know that I feel good. Like, I don't care. Like, thank you, but I also don't care. Like,
Yeah.
I would say that because I want you to know that that's not. And then if you want to know more, you can ask. But it's like trying to hand someone a drink and they're not in there. And a lot of people say no these days because they're not alcoholics, but some people have been. But especially non-alcoholic or people who are alcoholics and are stopped, they'll usually say, I don't drink. Like, they'll be very clear and defined. And usually you don't push, right? Most people wouldn't push that. Why are you pushing when I just say, I feel good? And that's the lesson. Like, I'm not mad, but it gives me so much information when you switch up the narrative on like what has been comfortable. I've been so uncomfortable living this way that I can't live this way anymore. So if I make you uncomfortable in that way, I realize like that's where I learned my boundaries. Like, it's okay. And I also had to learn, like, why do I want so badly for this to work? Like, it's okay. It's probably better that this doesn't work out. You know, like, that's your lesson is, like, maybe you're just really being redirected and you just have to, like, kind of stop being afraid of that. Because you're allowed to have because, like, I just think some people want excuses and I just don't want one. I don't want an excuse. I want to feel good.
Yeah.
I do. Desperately just want to feel good in my body, in my skin.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like so powerful about it because you just never know what anyone's going through. I just think commenting on weight is I don't care how you think it sounds in general. It's just, I don't want it in my vocabulary anymore.
Yeah.
Like what I look like in a way should not have any effect on you. And if it does, then you have something to work on.
Absolutely. But I also think
and maybe we shouldn't be friends.
Yeah, I think
right. There's certain people I know I can't be friends with for certain things, and that's okay. But I also don't think about it because it's not in my field because it doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah. Not that they don't matter. That's not.
No, I get
whoever these people are. This is just arbitrary.
Yeah. No, I get you. Like and that's why language is it's just so important because you can say something even coming from a good place and it just does not hit well. Like, I know you saying that
when you know it, when you
yeah,
know,
yeah, like when
I'm so aware of
you
that
know,
though.
like,
You're
oh,
like,
you lost
you're such a
weight,
good like.
you look great. And I'm like, look
Did
great
I
is
not go
fine.
look great before?
I'm
Oh, I
like,
know. Honestly, people don't realize.
I'm like, oh, I'm that all right. Like even it goes so far as like I've had so many skin issues, eczema, acne, like dandruff. Like I've just had so many skin issues that like I understand that when people want to give me tips about this or that, my diet, my skin, I know it's coming from a good place, but I also as someone that just
Having to learn about advice ourselves.
It's like I know more. Sometimes I'm just like I know more than you. Why are you even trying to give me advice? And that could be my
You didn't
ego,
ask for
you
it.
know? Yeah, it's just the unsolicited comments, the unsolicited advice where it's like what does this do for you? Like I maybe I feel like I understand that you're probably observing that maybe I lost weight, maybe I gained weight, maybe I gained muscle, blah blah blah, and you're just trying to be a good human, just and comment on those things. But that's why I talk so little sometimes because I'm like I just
Because you're talking
don't.
about work environment too, though, right?
Yes, I am specifically.
An environment has to do with skin too, which is
I don't talk a lot about because I don't really talk to a lot of people.
no, I'm
So
just making it clear
yeah,
for whoever's listening.
yeah, because I'm just imagining my work, but yeah, just mind your business.
Yeah.
I feel just mind your business. I know you're coming from a
Sometimes
good
we don't
place.
realize that we're being nosy.
Also, like, I just want you like
It's like, what are you gonna go talk? Like, is this gonna be like in your line of I don't know,
yeah. Personally, I don't think of I don't really think
material?
about that.
No, I'm just making up shit. Like,
yeah. I just think of like think about other things to say. Be more creative. Like, why are we just talking about looks and you know? And I get that's a go-to. Like,
oh, so
looks
it's like a
nice, your face looks
so you're
nice.
talking about when people are just commenting, even if you don't say anything, even
Yeah,
if
people will just coming out the woodworks, just coming on to you, just like
do you think it's
hey.
women's uncomfortability of just like saying hi?
Don't know. I honestly don't know because I'm someone that's like, hey,
That's how you are, though.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
maybe,
yeah.
yeah, maybe that could be it. And maybe they are nosy. Maybe I don't know. I just don't know. But for me,
I'm just having fun.
when you're talking to me, just either keep it short and sweet or just don't comment on anything unless they're like, unless it's like
Cool,
my
didn't
fashion.
ask, but cool.
Yeah, if it's something I'm wearing on me, you're like, oh, those earrings are nice. Fine, I'll accept those. I like those. But when it comes to things that I actually just can't change in this exact moment and don't want to, and like, just, I'm dealing with my own shit, right? I'm dealing with my own shit, and I'm like, I just don't need.
Already uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. It's already.
Thanks for pointing it out now.
Yeah.
It's like when you look tired. Cool.
What is that?
As if I didn't know.
Yeah, it's like,
I feel tired. I do. Yeah. Cool.
no, that's so true.
You're an asshole. You're rude.
We don't even know.
I'm training my brain. I'm training my brain to just say, because like,
Yeah.
this is hilarious. I'm maybe I'm the person you should learn this with, because I think it's kind of funny that you think that you can comment on me that way. Maybe I should just do it back because it's like fun. Like, is it funny?
Yeah.
Not for any other reason. Like when someone's like that, oh, thanks for stating the obvious. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
I could
think
just
it's a
go
way
look
of
in a
relating.
mirror if I needed that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
yeah, I think it's a way of relating. I think that's just how people are just want to say
I
something.
want to re-relate.
Yeah. Like don't,
Libra, I want to re-relate with you.
Yeah.
Let's not relate that way. Let's change it up, and I'm going to make it really weirdly uncomfortable.
See, and the way
It's
that,
not a plan. This is all just coming out now.
the way that
I just figured this out in this moment.
I usually just stay silent. I just let people
Because they have to
sit
like
in their own stuff.
their discomfort. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh,
Oh, see, that goes back to my casualty.
yeah.
I actually don't do really, but
What?
like I've gotten more comfortable doing nothing.
doing
But sometimes I don't even realize like how I'm reacting.
Yeah, true. Sometimes me doing nothing is like a face, and I try to control that. But
That's so
sometimes I'm
great.
just-
No, but that's great.
yeah, 'cause I'm like, I don't really need to expand on this, but also,
Yeah, like what
You know
if
what I mean.
someone says that to you at work, what do? You just look at them and walk away?
it depends on who it is,
Okay.
right? Because I think there is something about being
Not that you have to disclose
Yeah, no, but it's like sometimes I'm like, who am I dealing? Like you understand how people's hearts are, and you kind of understand, like, after working with people for so long, there's some people who are gonna get my face and who can handle that. And I know that sometimes, because we were talking about this earlier, I don't want to be mean.
Yeah.
I know you're at where you're
Yeah.
at, and we're just
I'm not
shooting the
mean.
sheet
I'm not
talking,
mean.
right? Like,
I'm just
that's how I feel.
a
I'm
murderer.
just like, shut the fuck up. You don't need to comment on this shit. But in
Like, how
reality,
funny would that be if you just went, shut the fuck
fuck
up.
up.
I just wanna. It's not that I live like that. I would love to live like that.
Well, you know what? I
I think that's my Sag North node. Like,
yeah, because I don't feel, to me, I'm just like, there's always
of a Mars and Scorpio.
there's always a thing
Great.
in the back of my mind where I'm like, oh, I wish I was like this, but I'm like, I was just the way that I was.
No,
Like,
I accept it every time. I'm just like, when those come out, I get so happy.
Yeah,
That's all. This is
Yeah.
fun.
yeah,
I could be myself.
yeah,
But like,
Yeah, that's great.
you're also not yourself with that's what, yes, you're getting to, like, it's not with everyone. Some people are that way, but they're like usually pretty unaware people.
exactly. And the thing is, I see the unaware people, so I'm just like, I'm not angry about it. It's annoying, and sometimes the people that I think can handle it, because we have that rapport, right? Like, I have a rapport with you, so I can just be like, shut the fuck
But
up.
I would never.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, dude. And that's where my personality will shine. But there's other points where I'm
Like when you told me I look like a hyena, but I was laughing and like, that was so mean, but I was laughing because it was just funny.
and then I'm thinking, I'm like, it's so sweet,
I know.
That's also just the difference in boundaries.
In perspective.
Yeah, it's just the difference, and that's okay.
Can't be yourself with everyone.
And
Not everyone's owed that. Whatever it is, all the things.
you know what? The thing is, I do think that I'm
You have
being
such great
myself.
boundaries at work. Yeah.
I'm being the way that I think is appropriate.
Yeah.
And all of those ways are me. Like,
Yes.
because I figured that out. I'm like, I could be this way with you, and I could be this way with you, but I'm not people pleasing because I'm not trying to be someone I'm not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm still me, but you're right. There is versions.
Like when you were telling me about myself and I just put the coffee grinder on.
No, that was so funny, and I wish.
Will she think this?
Yeah.
Let's try it. Literally what happened in my brain.
Let's do that absolutely right now.
The same
emotional spot.
To throw. Well, we were kind of rounding a corner.
weren't.
We rounded a corner already.
She's like, no, it was an appropriate joke.
See, I'm so nice. I'm so thoughtful.
Even though I cackled, it was great timing. That's what it was. Great timing.
I'm working.
No, I appreciate that because I do need, and that's why, when you were asking me, oh, like, do you need time? Like, is today okay? And I'm like,
Go home.
no, I knew exactly. I was like, because I even anticipated that question before I got here, so I had already answered it when I was driving.
I just wouldn't be right if I didn't say it out loud.
Totally. And that's
Because you shouldn't read people's minds ever until you just shouldn't. Until we're on tour.
until
We
we're
can
on tour
tour.
together.
Because when you're in the same space, you kind of then start doing it.
No, I
But,
appreciate
learning
appreciate
people
it.
is really important.
Yeah. And because I know
And not
you, I know
assuming
you
things.
are.
Because sometimes I don't know until I get there, to be honest.
Yeah.
Sometimes
No,
having that
exactly.
question, if someone asked me that, I would either think they want me to leave. I know that sounds crazy.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
no.
maybe they don't wanna. Maybe, and that's like
I've
me,
had those feelings.
because it was my own, there's always my own shit. 2,
It's
they
always
care
your own
enough
shit.
about me to ask. 3, could I answer honestly? Like, how would it feel to say actually no and leave? Or would it feel like, So I go through a lot of things when I'm asked those kinds of questions, and I always take it seriously, because when someone's actually like asking you about your needs, you would hope they're being serious. Because like there are plenty of times where like old bosses would say something, but they didn't really mean it. They wanted to
yeah.
act like they mean it and meant it, and hope, but they would hope for another outcome.
Yep.
And a lot of times they got the one they didn't want, which was funnier to me.
Like, yeah, actually, I'm gonna take the day off because I'm not well. Thank you.
Yeah.
And they were like, wait, you have a full shift.
And yeah, so like you can see like where that is interesting and can teach you a lot.
Yeah. And
Or like even, and not even just to relate it to work, but like even people in my life, like they don't really want to know how I am, because if I told them, they'd say this was too much, and yeah,
maybe.
or like not even listen. So it's like that's like the same spectrum. I don't always want to relate it to like